Alright guys, what is going on? Back with another video, and today we're going to talk about these coordinators. They just did an interview on Dukes and Bell, and I'm going to tell you guys, what Jimmy Lake said was awesome. And he said something that made a lot of sense that you may not think that it did, but we're going to get into that in a second. Also, Zach Robinson talked. I like what he said as well. It was really refreshing. Now, let's go back a little bit. Last year, or years past, you had your coaches and your coordinators. They talked a little funny. They talked a little different. They didn't sound as confident. But even with Raheem Morris, when he came out in his press conference and sounded as confident and assertive and he was ready to go, these coordinators are the same way. They sound like they are ready to get the job done. I am extremely surprised on how well these guys are ready to go. Some guys, especially when it's their first time, getting the job, it's not about Coach Morris, it's about the other two, like Robinson and Lake. They kind of timid. They're just trying to find their way through. These guys talking like they've been here before. They talking like they've been here before, and they sound like they're ready to go. And it just makes me feel good because we don't know what the final product's going to be. We don't know what the team's going to look like when they get on the field this upcoming season. But you got to start somewhere. And when you listen to what these guys are saying, and I know talk is cheap because I know somebody probably typing in the comment section, talk is cheap. That don't mean nothing. But you got to start somewhere. And when you listen to these guys, they sound like they have a plan. They sound like they are confident in the plan that they have, and they feel like they're going to get good results, especially with Jimmy Lake. Jimmy Lake said something really interesting because I talked about this on my podcast this past episode. If you want to check that out, it's the latest episode on the channel. I said that if you want a good secondary, if you really want a good secondary, maybe you need to get somebody to disrupt that defensive line. Get a pass rusher, get somebody who can stop the run. And Jimmy Lake basically said the same thing. He said, if you want to get good play out of your cornerbacks, you got to stop the run. You stop the run, you get the quarterback to do something he don't want to do, is pass the ball a whole bunch of times. And, I don't care who you are. You could be, Desmond Ridder all the way up to Pat Mahomes. You don't really want to throw the ball 50, 60, 70 times. But if you force them into that situation where they have to throw, it makes a quarterback very, very nervous. And that's what he said. You stop the run, you can make your defense look really good because it makes them one-dimensional. And once you make them one-dimensional, those cornerbacks going to have opportunities. I really like that because at first when he said it, to me it didn't make sense. But when he explained it, I was like, you know what? I said it from a situation where the pass rush has to get the quarterback uncomfortable. What he's saying is you stop the run and make the quarterback pass. Overall, or in the long run, that will make him uncomfortable. Now, not only that makes more sense because getting the quarterback uncomfortable with a pass rush is cool. I'm all for it. I want to see a lot of it. But if you stop their run, that means they can't run the ball. The quarterback can't resort to handing the ball off to the to the running back. So they have to pass because the run game is gone. You make them pass, and then you can get to the quarterback and get some turnovers if you get the secondary in the right position, or if you just make the quarterback throw where he don't want to throw the ball at. So this is a very good philosophy to have. That right there made me extremely excited because now don't get me wrong, I like Dean Pease. I think Dean Pease did a great job with what he had, but he didn't talk like that. I like Ryan Nielsen. I like what he had to bring to the table, but he didn't talk like that. Now, maybe they had that kind of, philosophy implemented in their game plan, but it sounds like Jimmy Lake is going all in with that game plan from the get-go. So, with that being said, I am extremely happy with that part of everything that I heard today. Zach Robinson was more of a, I ain't gonna say cliche, but he said a lot of things that we know, because I think on offense we kind of know the obvious. There's nothing out there that we don't know as far as we need a quarterback, and he wants to get the ball to the playmakers. So it's not much there to really talk about. And as far as, what's actually on the field, the main thing is what plays are you going to draw up? If you want to be a good play caller, are you going to get these receivers in space? And I don't know, because I can't 100% remember if he talked about that, but that is going to need to be done because if you get a Pitts, London, Bijan, Algier, If Jonnu Smith comes back, I think Van Jefferson's going to come back. Van Jefferson was not utilized properly, and he's already used to the Rams offense. It would be a foolish situation not to bring him back on at least a 1 or 2 year deal. You know what? If things go right, he could be a candidate for wide receiver number 2 in this offense. But we'll talk about that sometime down the road. But what I was saying is that now we're looking at a situation when this guy, Zach Robinson, the offensive coordinator, could possibly get these guys in space, and make something happen with this offense. And defensively, if you're going to stop the run, make these guys one-dimensional, Jesse Bates could probably have 8 interceptions next year. If one of these guys can have 3 or more interceptions, and one of these guys can have 3+ interceptions this upcoming year, and that's a win for everybody. But you got to win the games. With that being said, y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all can go on Dukes and Bells and listen to the little interviews they had. They weren't long, but it was cool. Dukes and Bell, they talked to him, asked the right questions, not what these other media guys are doing, and we got some pretty good answers. So I'm going to get up out of here, and I'm going to go ahead and get ready to get my day over with at work, and I'll be ready to do the podcast later on for tomorrow morning. Y'all guys take it easy, and I am out. All right, y'all. Peace.